Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Code Realize Wintertide Miracles in Finis's route. So yeah, anyway, on we go. I think about it sometimes, quite often honestly, how unlike London where life was fast-paced and hectic almost every day, life here in Wales is almost too peaceful, so much so that it feels like time has stopped. I think about things like how the omelet Finis and I made together was even better than usual. Or how Finis fell asleep, so I put his head on my lap as a pillow, and when he woke up, his face turned tomato red and he was all flustered. Such days of tranquility fill my diary with so many happy memories, one after the next. Today, however, things are a little different. Yeah! I love that all of our friends are coming to visit us while we're here. I just love it. Doesn't matter that we've played like 5 rounds and we've seen them all a million times. I still love them and I still love fucking Van Helsing. God damn this motherfucker. Anyway. My Van Helsing. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not going to be able. Like, my voice is like weird, so I'm not going to be. Well, he's not as bad as some of the other ones anyway. It's been some time, Spacey. I'm relieved to see that you haven't changed a bit. I know. Same with you. And I'm glad that you seem to be doing well, Van Helsing. It's great to see you again. Oh, it's great seeing you again. Sorry. The soothing fragrance of jasmine tea gently wafts over the room. Van Helsing and Deli, 2 others we haven't seen in many months, smile with nostalgia. Oh. And Deli, did you get a little taller? Good eye as always, Spacey. Unlike this 4-eyed boar. Indeed, I'm a whole 2 centimeters taller than when we first began our journey. He's so adorable. Glasses McDullard here, on the other hand, who would insist 2 centimeters is insignificant enough to be a measuring error? And I'd be right. If I could stretch myself out another 5 centimeters if I tried. What exactly would you be stretching? You know, Helsing, I thought you were supposed to be the most normal of the bunch. But is it just me? Or is your way of thinking somehow the most outlandish? Well, this is Van Helsing we're talking about. In any case, these are our friends, Van Helsing and Deli. The 2 have been traveling all across the United Kingdom in order to protect the surviving vampires. While they were in Wales, they decided to stop by. I figured you'd be getting bored living in the countryside, but it appears you're getting along quite fine. You as well, Finis. Look at that look on his face. I can't help it. I love it. I love that he's like, oh, Finn. Oh, Van Helsing. God. Yes, as you can plainly see, it's been quite some time, Helsing. It's probably inevitable that their interaction would bring about awkward expressions. Really? Because Finis looks like normal, like he's happy, like, hey, hi. And Van Helsing is like, you're so precious. So, like, I guess awkward expressions between the 2 of them because you're expecting them to fight and they just look endearingly at each other and But the fact that these 2 are exchanging greetings at all is a big step forward. Indeed, compared to back when Van Helsing was filled with fiery hatred and burning with vengeful wrath and almost killed us. See? That Van Helsing face, but I still love that because it's still sexy. His very raison d'etre. I don't know French, goddammit! Anyway, was to exact revenge on Finis for the killing of his beloved family. However, after the Nautilus incident, the words that Finis spoke to him were completely contradictory to anything he once believed. I doubt you'll believe me, but I didn't kill your family. I never made the order. The Van Helsing of the past surely would have assumed this was Finis's last-ditch effort to save his own skin and pulled the trigger. I highly doubt that the Finis I know today would lie about something like that. Who, then, is the true target of his revenge? Whatever the case may be, it was none other than Deli who paved a new path for Van Helsing when he was wandering astray in agony. It was Alistair, but, you know, we're not going to tell you that, because, you know, I don't know why. But... Come with me then, Van Helsing. Hey, if the families we've lost truly want us to seek revenge, then it's about time we think this through once more. It was the same thing that Deli had once told Finis. And because they were words from the one whose family he killed, I believe that's why Van Helsing was able to lower his gun. My grief isn't so light that I can cast it aside from words alone. But just for now, I shall put down my weapon to honor my master Delacroix and your sister. I appreciate that. I'd rather not be killed by you anymore either. Don't worry, I'll only point my gun at you again when you make your sister upset. That's because he loves us. They all love me. Man harem route. As if that time would ever come. Surely neither Van Helsing nor Finnis imagined that a day like this would come when they could talk to each other like this. But it's truly a wonderful thing to see. Pouring tea into an empty cup, I smile. So, how's the journey coming along? You're aiming to establish an autonomous region for vampires once you gather enough, right? Indeed, it's proving difficult to track down my comrades in hiding, although we're making gradual progress. Not doing his voice right, but... After this, we'll be returning to London for a meeting with the nobility. We stopped by here since it was on our way. Oh, please give Lupin and the others our regards. We haven't been there in some time. I hope that Lupin, Impy, Victor, and Cece are all doing well. I look out the window with a distant expression without realizing it. Speaking of London, here's an article that caught my attention. With a slight sharpness in his voice, Van Helsing spreads open a very recent newspaper. I still can't get over the fact that we were knitting with him. Unexplained building collapses continue in London. It's from today's morning paper. There aren't many details yet as it's a news flash. From the looks of things, it's fairly serious. Scotland Yard is currently in the process of further investigation. We will follow up on the situation as it develops. It's written about in such dry language. There's no damage report to be seen, nor details on where in London this took place. Collapsing buildings. I wonder if the buildings were simply too old. Well, it's nothing we need to be concerned about, or at the very least, it's nothing like what we've had to deal with in the past. If we find out more when we're there, we'll be sure to contact you. This just sounds like we're going to end up going to London and solving a mystery. So I'm guessing Finnis's path might be longer than the normal 3 hours? Okay, just saying. Yes, thank you. You two be careful there. It's no use getting all worked up over a single brief newspaper article. Or so I tell myself, but knowing London fairly well, I can't help imagining what this news might portend. The buildings were too old? In still London, where much of the city was rebuilt only some years ago? The anxiety that wells up in my chest doesn't seem like it'll abate so easily. I'm constantly reaffirming my satisfaction with my life in Wales. But at times like this isolation from the rest of society makes me restless. It's around the time when the lively chirps of sparrows are replaced with the hoots of owls that beckon us to sleep. The next time I hear about the incident is when Finnis returns with newspapers from the village nearby. Nearby? It's like 2-hour drive, right? Building collapses in London's lower town, escalating. Lower town's where Victor is! Taking matters into her own hands, Queen Victoria officially declares state of emergency, the first since the Nautilus crisis. It's unprecedented in the history of the United Kingdom for 2 states of emergency to be declared in such close proximity. Jesus. I see. That was a mouthful. Well then, it seems that things are about to get a lot more complicated than we imagined. With half a day having passed since the initial report, the papers had a lot more to go on. The building collapses and the resulting fires. The emergency halt of the 2 large steam engines located in the forest. And the source appears to be the sudden appearance of a great number of machines. What does that mean? Who can say? I can make a few guesses, but I can't arrive at any conclusions with so little information. But what is clear is that the city is facing a danger they haven't seen since the Nautilus. Ruh-roh, Raggy! Let's get the gang and go! Right. There's all kinds of speculation flying about back in London. See, this is where you send a letter to your friends. You guys come, move out of London, and you come live in Wales with us. We'll have fun in this mansion together. We'll be safe here. There's nothing fucking here. Worries about the prison being destroyed and the dangerous criminals within escaping. A suspicion that a foreign terrorist cell might be involved. eyewitness report and sensationalism about a colossal shadow the size of a small mountain. I carefully trace over the widely varying articles. One thing was certain. Steel London has found itself in a seriously critical situation. Finnis. Yes, I know. Let's go to London, right? It's that easy to tell. Who do you think I am? I'm your brother. And then you're a simpleton. You had it written all over your face. He scratches his head and groans, letting out a long, deep sigh. Let me ask just in case. Is there any chance we could just wait here patiently? No. It's clearly dangerous. We don't even know if we can do anything there. I'm taking that all into account. But that city is a very special place to us. The place where we met so many people. The place where our friends live. The place where countless people live. And it's the city that Father created. The place where we were able to become human. That's why I'm going. If ever there's a problem there, I'll always rush over to help. How did I know you'd say that? And why was I cursed with such an ignoramus of a sister? Oh, I suppose it's precisely because you're like this that we're living together. He sighs, grabs a hat from the rack, and tosses it to me. Then he points his finger at me. But if things get too dangerous, I'm going to stop you. It's my duty to protect you. Oh, you're so cute. Right, I'm depending on you. Thank you, my little knight. Do leave out the small part. Let's hurry, sister. With that decided, we can start moving quickly. We finish our preparations and push open the door to our mansion. And there we see... I don't know who's asking, where might you be going? It's one of our friends. Oh, it's Hanzel. Okay, I was expecting somebody else. Honestly, because I was literally expecting to be somebody we haven't seen yet, but basking in a ray of moonlight is an apostle of idea. Isn't it rather late for a walk, you two? Hanzel, you're here today too? It's you. What is it this time? If it's snacks you want, come back some other time. We have no time to play around with you today. Finnis starts toward the automobile. Or is about to start anyway. Hanzel, what are you... Oh. Oh. You didn't think you'd get it. Oh, you know, you can see the other half on the bottom there. If it's going to be like Hanzel and Finnis, but I'm like, you didn't think you'd get a Hanzel CG in this. Just enjoy it, because he's pretty. Sorry, but I cannot let you go to London. My hair sways in the wind from his giant fork being brought down. Standing directly in our path, Hanzel speaks in his usual indifferent tone. There should be no reason for you two to return to London. You've already chosen to live in peace. Saint Germain, Lupin, and the others, the army, the yard, there are many capable people in London. There's nothing for the two of you to do, and even if you did go, you'd only get in the way. So, let us wait for the situation to settle and stay here with me sipping tea. Surely that would be better. Wouldn't you agree, Gretel? Why? We're just concerned about London. It's not like we're going there to do something strange. Hanzel stares at us blankly, yet intently. As usual, I can't tell what he might be thinking. But right now I can almost sense something of a sadness in his eyes. The patrimony of Isaac Beckford. I knew it. That's why you, idea, would want to stop us so badly. What do you mean? It's an educated guess, but I'm confident in saying that the reason he came to stop us is because the incident in London is related to Father's heritage. This sounds like we need a whole second game, right? My eyes go wide as I look over to Hanzel. I'm a fourth game. A whole second! Fourth one, because this is the third one, but still. He winces as if in pain, which only backs up Finnis's conjecture. Bravo, Finnis. But if you understand that much, I'd much prefer if you just stay put. Could it be that idea is cautious of us coming into contact with Father's heritage? Hansel nods, seeing the doubt written on my face. Yes, although we said so in jest, it's no lie that we've been keeping an eye on you. But my horologium's powers were absorbed by the Nautilus. There's no more power left in it. It can no longer become the Philosopher's Stone, so there's no point in being so cautious about it now. Yes, that is so, Spacey. You're no longer a threat to the world or anything of the sort. I can guarantee that much. You're now simply just a sweet, ordinary girl. Then... But your brother, on the other hand... Finnis is another story altogether. Hansel picks up Gretel once more and glares at Finnis. The pointed tip glints in the moonlight, and yet it's so funny because you think that, like, they're so best friends in some of the other routes, and now it's like, oh, there's this, like, oh, well. With all other specimens dead, he's the sole existence possessing the knowledge of the genius Isaac Beckford, the successor of truth, Finnis. With the knowledge and skills you possess, you could easily distort the course of history. And so, and this is the middle ground, if you spend the rest of your life here, Ideal will have no reason to meddle. We'll even turn a blind eye to your occasional visits to London. However, if you plan to step into the open stage of history by involving yourself in incidents such as this, then that changes matters, and we must consider your elimination. Ah, now it all makes sense. Like, this shit got real fast. It was like, hey, buildings are collapsed. Oh my god, there's a fork in my face. Like, he's gonna fork you up. I'm not sorry. I see. Do you two plan to live here indefinitely then? Yes, that's their plan for now. It's not like we have anywhere else to go. This seems a fine place to enjoy my retirement. Is that so? I am relieved then. So, like, what was gonna fucking happen in all the other routes when we moved to London with our boyfriendos? That is all I'm saying. Like, they were gonna be like, kill Finnis. Did Finnis die? Like, what? Are you curious? Because I'm curious now. The reason for Saint Germain's relief is now made crystal clear. Please withdraw, and then everything will be just like before. Leave London to Saint Germain and the others, and meanwhile, we may partake in delicious snacks. He's the one that's supposed to be threatening us. Even if we fought back, there's no way we'd stand a chance against him. I mean, I don't think Finnis wants to go anyway, so he'd have an overwhelming advantage. So please, don't make me kill you both now. Yeah, because he wants to climb into my bed, so that'd be really hard for him, huh? Just saying. Hansel's words sound pained. It's sad, like he's about to cry at any moment. But... no deal. Finnis just as easily brushes away those words. Let's go, sister. There's no need to suffer this fool's nonsense. Oh, wait. Finnis Beckford. Get... Finnis! The sad, slow music in the background is not helping with the... It's supposed to be action-y! And it's like... I feel tired. Like, as Finnis began to walk away, he was struck with the sideways arc of the giant fork. He slams into the door and Hansel winces down at him. I thought we had grown to be friends. I don't understand you. I can't understand you, Finnis. The feeling is mutual. Hansel, are you serious? I move closer to my collapsed brother and support his back. Hansel watches us, approaching with fork in hand. You two were freed from Isaac and obtained humanity in spite of cursed bodies. You've already reached your happy ending. All that's left for you now is to live long, happy lives. I will fight in order to protect that happiness. You'd live your happy lives, and Saint Germain and I would visit now and then, and we'd share snacks and laugh together. Is that so wrong? His words sound both pained and angry. His eyes are filled with sadness and sympathy like back when he tried to kill us. Surely he can't understand. We're choosing to let go of the happiness that he couldn't obtain himself. But... so you're saying that we should just plug our ears? That we should turn a blind eye to what's happening and just smile for the sake of our own happiness? The tip of Gretel waves for the briefest moment as if in hesitation. The sad thing is that's kind of what most people have to do. Most people can't just, I'm gonna hop in a car and I'm gonna go save the world. I mean, that's what we do in these games. I'm gonna go be the noble one who saves the world. But it's like, she's like, you're telling us just turn a blind eye and just not go jump into the fray? Not everyone. Yeah, I mean, in reality, you're kind of not gonna be able to do that. But these are your friends and you've helped and you've done a lot of other things. So, I mean, it's slightly different in the Otome like game sense, but it's still like, thanks for making me feel guilty about not like jumping in and saving the fucking world every chance. I'm sorry, I got a job, bitch. I can't just jump in and save the world every fucking time there's a problem. You kind of like, she makes it sound like you're such an asshole for like, how dare you ever be happy at all when something bad is happening? Something bad is always happening. Like, come on. I mean, granted, it's not like always happening right next door, so, but anyway. At the same moment, Finnis picks himself up and shakes his head slowly, making a sarcastic grin. Huh. Besides, what do you mean, happy ending? If this were a fairy tale and we lived happily ever after, that would be fine by me. But our lives go on, and I'd rather you not end them. Finnis nods to me and glares at Hanzel with confidence in his eyes. His eyes meet with those of the boy before us, the one whose hand has helped guide history for untold centuries. Although, to be quite honest, part of me would be quite fine with that even now. If everything were to end, at least I could be satisfied knowing that I got to live with my sister in the end. Bird, why do you insist on shrieking like that? It's fucking irritating. But something crosses my mind in situations like this. It's just like Alistair was saying. My inconvenient past, I can't very well just pretend that none of it happened. Right, because it was our father who tried to do exactly that. If the scenario in London really is because of father's heritage, then I'm confident that it's our responsibility to stop it. Because we are the children of Isaac Beckford. I'd throw it all away if I could. I'd love to complain to his face that about the mess he's left us with while I'm at it. That doesn't mean I could just throw this burden onto someone else. Why don't you come with us and stop us from doing something stupid? I slowly stepped toward Hanzel, who remained silent. Then I gently touched the fork that bears his little sister's name. Thank you, Hanzel, Gretel, for trying so hard to protect us and our happiness. Idea can see into the future, so everyone in the world may seem like children who need to be protected. But we'll be fine. We don't need to be guarded every step of the way, and we can walk on our own. So let me swear to you right now that we'll never do anything to force Idea's hand. Please, let us go, so that we can protect our happiness that lies ahead on our own. Yes, I see. In the past, I told you two that it was unfortunate and pitiful that you were the children of Isaac. But I take that back now. You two never considered yourselves unfortunate. As if bowing, the tip of Gretel slowly sinks into the ground. For a while, Hansel simply closes his eyes in silence. For a long, long time, I've been fighting for the happiness of someone else. This was the first time that I was thanked by someone outside of Idea. Aw, you're so precious. Saint Germain had said the same thing, that the duty of an apostle of Idea is to uproot disaster before it has a chance to spread. Though Idea's predictions all but guarantee calamity if a threat is left unchecked, said calamity is invisible to those who are unaware of it. It's only natural then that their work is never appreciated, because nobody knows what's happening, you know what I mean? And then all you would know is that Saint Germain just busted into your house and murdered your husband, and you'd be like, what the fuck? Not realizing that your husband's like gonna destroy the world or something, right? I'm just saying. You're not gonna be like, hey, thanks for that. You'd be like, fucking hey, what the hell's this crazy bitch doing, right? Or like a kid with a fork. Just saying. It's a thankless job indeed. It's their fate to fight for the happiness and futures of people they'll never know, whose gratitude they'll never receive. It's a hardship that I can't even begin to imagine. Forgive me, Mother. I cannot stop these children. He says these words to the sky above, unmoving. Watching him out of the corner of his eye, Finnis pulls me by the hand and starts walking. Come, let's go, sister. From the look of things, he no longer has the will to stop us anyway. Oh, then... Wait, you two. Is he coming with us? What now? Still not done. Persistent pest. Finnis's body language expresses those words quite clearly, but Hanzel chuckles and waves his hand. Do you plan to travel to London via automobile? We are, though we might board a train once we get to the next town. Trains? At this hour? Oh, that's right. You two are bright, but sometimes I wonder. He heaves an exasperated sigh and begins walking. Follow me. If it's London you're going to, I know of a secret shortcut. Is he going to fly us there? Oh my god. Captain Lionheart, evacuation of the residents around the Lambeth area is almost complete. Fine work. That's one less thing to worry about then. Listen up. Tell the residents to avoid regions dense with buildings as best as possible and evacuate. Buildings are their primary target, and if you happen to encounter them, don't even think about engaging. Retreat at once. Yes, sir. Seeing off the soldier, Lionheart, royal captain of the guard, wipes the sweat from his brow and peers into the night city. The main street of the great metropolis of London would normally be shining even brighter at night. Tonight, however, no matter where you look, street lamps and lights from buildings all the same are completely out. In lieu of those lights is the red flicker of flames from afar. Watching as the fires cast shadows of the buildings, Lionheart can't hide his grim expression. Look at this. It's almost as though we're in a bloody war. Mr. Captain? I was like, I don't know why when I looked at that I thought someone was saying, Shirley! And then she was saying Mr. And I was like, wait, what? It's like, oh my god. Wow. I told you I can't read, right? Why if it isn't the Gordon family? How fares Lower Town? How fares it? Maybe you should ask that damn mechanical freak. So the damage has spread to there as well. Everywhere's more or less the same, with smashed buildings and everyone in a panic. I feel like their voices were the same when I made them, so like, whatever. As of right now, there haven't been many casualties yet, but I think it's only a matter of time. We're having the other Mafia families relay messages and help guide the evacuees. I made sure to tell them to work along with the military should they meet. Anyway, let's leave these parts to us. We'll do all we can to ensure that the damage is minimalized. Minimized. Did I say minimalized? Minimized? Wow. You have my thanks. Though, I'd prefer for the little lady here to evacuate. Don't underestimate me. I'll be fine. I'm a member of the Gordon family, remember? She's practically wearing a shoulder holster, for fuck's sake. I can't just sit back when the London I love is in danger. That's my dear daughter. I can guarantee you she's plenty capable. Oh, and of course, if anything were to happen, Papa will do everything in his power to protect you. Oh! Is this really the best place for a bear hug? And there you have it. I love that everyone literally that we have ever met is in this right now. So you are quite accustomed to times of crisis. I'm sure you'll be perfectly reliable. Right then, I shall pray for your valor. With a quick salute of gratitude, he leads his soldiers onward at a brisk, jogging pace. Their highest priority is the evacuation of citizens. Lionheart would gladly accept any assistance he can get to ensure their safety. Hearing the sound of buildings crumbling in the distance, he clenches his fist. The machines created by the peerless genius Isaac Beckford that we've taken to I was reading. Okay, line. The machines created by the peerless genius Isaac Beckford that we've taken to calling knockers. I'm sorry. That just... Really? Really? That doesn't sound threatening. It sounds kind of funny anyway. Knocker! A mechanized tool created by Isaac Beckford. It was used to demolish buildings and remove rubble during the reconstruction of London. Because they're like knocking down rubble. I get it, but...
How ironic it is that the machines he created are now destroying the city he built. If I can't have it, no one can.
Meanwhile, in another part of London... And they're still coming! One from each side of the street!
Whoa! Oh, hold! There's still people on this side!
Houses, buildings, the very city is being torn asunder. The rising flames burn all the brighter, lighting up the skies with an eerie red glow. I'm just gonna guess after this, if you lived in London, you were like, after the Nautilus thing, then we started rebuilding and we survived. And then, you know what? I think it's time to fucking move, is all I'm saying. On this day, when much of the crew had gathered to meet with Van Helsing in Delhi, with no time to rejoice in their reunion, the gentleman thief and his companions went out into town to help with the evacuation efforts. It's here! Knocker! Be careful of its artillery! How can one even describe the thing that appeared from within the rubble? Perhaps one analog might be... Oh, look, it's like a little crab! It's kind of cute! It's like got pinchers! But they're punchers and pinchers. It's like, it looks like you can pinch, but then punch. It's kind of cute. Don't you want one? I want one. A mechanical crab of metal and gears. Oh yeah, okay. I didn't even read. I wasn't even reading it. I just looked at the picture when it popped up. Okay, so a mechanical crab, yeah. As for their size, roughly half that of an automobile. Protruding from either side of its body are its many metal legs. It's got 4 legs, that's not many, but... Perhaps acknowledging Lupin and the others, the lights around its eyes flicker. My goodness, how many has it been now? And their numbers seem to be increasing as the battle goes on, and there's simply no end.
I'll take care of the ones here. The Count, you take the ones on the left.
Understood. Before the knocker has time to do anything, Van Helsing dashes forth at a speed that would look like a blur to anyone watching. Just as the knocker is about to fire its artillery at him...
God, you...
It's fucking... Okay, I love this. I love this, because it's our gang back in action, and I fucking love it. So you're like, yeah, okay! Ah! Everybody kicking ass. Oh, I missed this. Did you miss it? I missed it. You don't realize that you miss it until you get to it. Like, because, you know, you're like, yeah, I missed our boys, and then we get to see everybody, and everybody's there. And then you get this, and you're like, oh, I forgot how good this is. I forgot how good it feels to watch them kick ass, and you're like, oh, you love them You loved them before, and you love them again. But anyway. He thrusts his shotgun at the ground, vaulting himself upward and out of the line of fire. Fucking pole vaulting, Van Helsing, Jesus. Letting gravity pull him back down, he lands on top of the knocker and rams it with the barrel of his gun.
Phew. How are things over there, Count?
I need not hold, so no problems to report here. And then fucking, like, just knives in his God damn. The remains of the machines called knockers no longer billow with steam. Delacroix jabs them with his fists and lets out a sigh. Jeez! First time back in London in forever, and look at this mess. What are these things anyway? What's more, no matter how many we tear apart, they keep on coming, and my hands are starting to ache from all the punching. These constructs are precisely as I explained earlier. The machines called knockers were invented by Isaac Beckford as a means of helping in the reconstruction of London. I saw them back when I was with the Royal Society, and they were originally created to demolish buildings and remove rubble. Odd part of those things was designed for removing rubble, and they have cannons.
Those were likely used to smash rubble into smaller pieces for easier removal. Though a direct hit on someone certainly wouldn't be healthy.
The thing is, these things are clearly acting a little cuckoo. Demolishing houses when people are clearly living there definitely counts as defective in my book.
Just so, they do not seem to attack people directly unless one interferes with their demolition. They've gone haywire, as the expression goes, would you not say?
And there's at least 100 of them! It would be a pain to destroy them one at a time.
Taking a breather after evacuating everyone nearby to safety, They begin to consider their next moves. When they were first found, there were only 2 or 3 of these machines, but as time passed, their numbers rapidly increased. It's unknown how many of these so-called knockers are currently on a rampage, but destroying them one by one is clearly the only option. Then...
Just as I suspected.
Impy, who's examining the internal structure of a destroyed knocker, raises his voice. What is it, Impy?
Just the cause of these things going crazy. One of them malfunctioning wouldn't be too much of a shock, but all of them at once is a little odd, don't you think? So I had myself a look, and bingo! They all have an ether receiver embedded.
Receiver? I mean, these things are receiving signals from somewhere.
And then are you suggesting that there's a culprit somewhere causing all this?
No, these machines are moving about far too aimlessly to be controlled by a perpetrator. A terrorist would target government buildings, a thief would target banks, and a personal grudge would go straight to the source. Their motive would be clearly evident, and yet these knockers seem intent on wanton destruction. I fail to see any real intent. And then their carnage isn't the result of someone meddling. What then could have caused these knockers to run amok all at once? It just sounds so weird, knockers. Suddenly realizing something, Victor opens his mouth. Actually, I did hear something when I was studying under Isaac. In order for this many knockers to operate, there needs to be an overseer machine that commands all of them.
You don't say! In other words, these scrapyards on legs answer to a boss. So rather than all these machines going berserk at once, it's one machine in particular sending out the wrong orders. Makes sense.
Right, and the name of that machine is...
Dun dun dun!
Not gonna tell you.
Screw you guys! Not gonna tell you.
The end. It can't be. From a scientific perspective, this simply can't be possible. We did indeed take Hanzel up on his offer to use the shortcut he mentioned. I'd heard before that Saint Germain and Hanzel were able to traverse London with mysterious powers, but... The last thing I expected going through the forest was to end up here. Is this really London? I'm not dreaming, am I? I hate to admit it, but this is real. Finnis looks completely dumbfounded, and I can't help but pinch my cheeks. Hanzel then tells us that he's going off to help with damage mitigation efforts. My little brother glares in the direction Hanzel runs and heaves a huge sigh. And teleportation across the world via Idea's main base. A forest of fog, huh? It all makes sense now. No wonder I can never reveal the whole picture of Idea, even with the intelligence force of Twilight. I can understand how Finnis, who kicks little rocks on the ground while grumbling, feels. Though it's a bit late to question things now when you consider the immortality of the apostles. Remembering that they used to be my adversaries, a chill runs down my spine. But this time they're the ones who saved us. It's dark. Do you hear the creepy music? Dude. That's the first thing that crosses my mind upon seeing London for the first time in ages. It's not that we just happened to end up in a dark street, either. The only source of light is the glare of the moon above. Perhaps the gas lamps that normally illuminate the road are out because of the underground gas pipes were destroyed. I can read. Or perhaps the gas was shut off preemptively to prevent explosions. The city, devoid of light, almost looks as though the city itself is dead. Anyway, we should check up on the situation. Follow me, Finnis. Right. Or since I'm the man, allow me to lead the way. You're the man. You're so cute! I can't feel any nostalgia for the city I've been away from. Not like this. Going out into the main street, following my instincts, voices gradually draw nearer.
Hey, don't come this way! You should evacuate too! Damn it all! My shop is destroyed! What in the hell are those things? Please, calm yourself. Just stay calm and evacuate. Those machines will not attack people.
Fear, confusion, turmoil. Pushing through the confused crowd, we continue on. I didn't think it would be this chaotic. What in the world is going on? Is this really the result of Father's heritage? A machine called a knocker, invented for the reconstruction of London. If what townsfolk are saying is true, the knockers have gone haywire. You mean they've gone out of control? To put it plainly, yes. Well, rather than ramble on about it, perhaps you should see firsthand. Finnis points toward a dimly lit pair of red eyes. And connected to those flickering red eyes is a giant steel beetle that wriggles and moves with its many metal legs. That's a knocker? The bizarre machine grabs rubble with its big front arms and tosses it aside, then grabs another armful. It repeats these actions, doing its best to remove the debris. Perhaps it's wrong of me to think, but it's almost kind of cute. That's what I said! But destructive. And it's not going to attack? In the end, they are tools. And generally, they won't try to hurt anyone. And they're just for demolishing buildings. But even if they don't attack directly, what if there are people inside the houses? Right. And that's where the problem arises. They may have been made for demolition, but they were never meant to demolish things to this extent. Which means... Finnis pauses and looks around, listening carefully. And then, after a while... Damn. As if in response, a sudden quake shakes beneath our feet. The ground rumbles loudly and my heart practically skips a beat. What's happening? Sister, be careful! I have a feeling something dangerous is about to come out. My body trembles as the quake repeats itself. Something's there. Something extremely large. The mother knocker. I scanned to either side of me to search for it when... Above you! Get down! I have no time to even process the meaning of the words. Without a moment of hesitation, I grab the back of Finnis's neck and throw my body forward like my life depends on it. At that split second... We barely make it. Sorry, bird. The giant thing that fell from the skies stabbed right where we were standing, smashing the cobblestones to tiny fragments. Oh my god. It's a giant leg of one of the things. It's a giant spider! Shielding myself from the flying pieces of debris, I look up and see... A giant one. That one's not as cute. That one's not cute. That one's scary. A slightly dirtied metal body and eyes that flash a bright red. Yeah, that's a big-ass motherfucking one. Nope, that's scary. No, okay, the little ones are cute. But its overall form is similar to that of the knocker earlier. But this one is different. The most immediately noticeable difference is how huge it is. Whereas the other knocker was roughly the size of a human, this one is no compare. Okay, roughly the size of a human. The other one said it's half the size of an automobile. Oh, okay, no. All right, roughly the size of a... I was thinking for some reason, until I said it out loud, I was thinking it's like half the size of a dog. No, they said automobile, not dog. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so like, yeah, roughly the size. Yeah, okay. All right, now that makes more sense. Though not as big as the Nautilus, it forces us to look skywards all the same and renders us completely speechless. This shit's good. They put some effort into this. I mean, not to say they didn't, but you know what I mean? The other ones are just like cutesy little side stories where you're like, yay, we have a little adventures and we go on dates and we fall in love. You know what I mean? So it's nothing, but this has got substance. I mean, that sounds like I'm dissing the game. I'm not. But you know what I mean? Like, this is a fan disc. This is basically like, we just added some extra like romancy shit and some cute CGs and like whatever. And it's like a fun little romp, you know? Where you're like, yay, it's fun. And that's, it's the nice fluff that you want. This has got, like, you're like, oh, there's, like, a plot in this now. Like, more than a fluff plot. I love the fluff plot, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, this surprises me, and I like it. A moment sooner, and I don't think we'd still be breathing. Yeah, I don't know, humans are pretty rubbery, it might have bounced back. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, they'd be dead. But the colossal knocker doesn't seem to pay us any mind and begins walking off, huge thuds with each of its steps. We stand there dumbfounded until it disappears into the darkness. What was that? My hands are still trembling. I feel like the strength is about to leave my legs at any moment, but a voice calls out, denying me of rest.
You two there! Are you injured?
Oh, it's just Lionheart.
Finnis! And you as well! What are you two doing here?
We just arrived in London a bit ago. Anyway, what was that? What's happening to the city? He becomes silent to my question and makes an awkward, distressed expression. But my little brother is quick to twist the knife. Fascinating. You fell silent. So could it be that it's the fault of the government that the knockers are out of control? Huh. Everyone was ecstatic that Isaac's belongings were obtained after Twilight's disbanding. And then you let some fool of a scientist fiddle with it and went berserk, and now nobody can stop it.
How? It's like you've been watching over our shoulders.
Must I always clean up your messes? Although, I suppose it's partially my fault for not taking care of things afterwards. He makes a self-deprecating smile and peers into the darkness again. Then I nervously raise my hand and interject. Finnis, what was that large machine? Is it a different kind of knocker? The knocker mother! The mother knocker! You mother knocker! That's the knocker mother. The machine that controls the knockers. I get it, but at the same time, doesn't it just sound like ridiculous? You're like, I get it, because they're there to knock down buildings and like whatever, and like, but like, just calling them, they're knockers, and you're like, really? Because it doesn't have the oomph that you think. It sounds goofy. It just sounds goofy. Also, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, all of the knockers behave based on the mother's orders. The reason for this carnage is likely because the mother is out of control.
What? So that means if we do something about the mother, the other knockers will cease as well?
The mother. Well, that seems logical. Finnis lightly shrugs, but before he can continue, a soldier rushes up to Lionheart. We have a problem, Captain Lionheart, sir! We've received reports that the giant machine has moved north, destroying towers and bridges in its path, and has entered the Thames! The Thames? Why is it headed there?
This is most fortuitous for us. There are no buildings to destroy in the river after all. If this can buy us some time, let us evacuate more citizens in the...
No, this is bad. Finnis's bitter words cut him off. Originally, the knocker mother was built as a machine that could demolish large buildings, that the smaller knockers could not. Assuming it's out of control, then just like the other knockers, its objective is the demolition of buildings. Assuming that's the case, it's illogical to conclude that it's after a particularly large building. Then the mother's target is... Judging from the buildings around us, we should be near the south bank of the River Thames. Assuming the mother followed the river, and there were a particularly large structure at the other side of the bank, it would pass through the Westminster area, and then beyond that would be... Westminster, the central area of London and home to Buckingham Palace. It is especially well known for its palaces and churches. Buckingham Palace?
That's utterly preposterous! Not only is Her Majesty there, but the evacuees have been guided there as well. If this brute were to attack there...
Captain, what if we were to fire at it from atop the wall when it comes ashore?
Fool! A large-scale bombardment of the city in the dark would be a fine way to reduce what's left of it to conflagration.
To a conflagration. God. He drives his fist into the barely standing wall he stands beside, gritting his teeth.
There's no time to waste. Hurry and alert all soldiers. We'll go after that blasted thing immediately and try to buy as much time as possible by slowing it down.
But sir, it's advancing via a direct route. Even if we were to find a bridge, it'd be impossible to get there in time.
We must carry on regardless. The lives of Her Majesty and her people hang in the balance.
Like, never thought it'd be more safe. They never thought it'd be safer to be out in the burning streets with a bunch of these things running around than in a fucking palace. I'm just saying. Lionheart's combat boots thud loudly as he begins to run. As I watch him, I turn to Finnis. So, back to Wales then? Good idea. Finnis! I don't know what we can do, but we should go with them and help as much as we can. Calm down, sister. It's precisely as that soldier said. It's too far from here, and we'd have to cross the river besides. There's simply no way we'd make it in time. So you're telling me to calm down? We're going to watch all these people die. But he must be fully aware of what's on the line. Finnis is desperately in thought, his head down and brow knit. I can see the mother's structure in my head. If we could reach its control panel, I'd be able to do something about it. But even if we run, we'd never make it. There's no guarantee there's even a bridge left standing, and swimming is out of the question. Standing beside Finnis as he grits his teeth, I look to the sky where sparks of fire flit about. We stood up to Hanzel so boldly. If we're unable to prevent damage here, then why did we even come here? Even worse is the fact that the creation that Father left behind is about to harm others. If only there were something. The ornithopter. That's right! My other home. The cherished place where I spent so many days with everyone. It shouldn't be very far from there. If we're able to make it there, then maybe... Come with me, Finnis. I want to give something a try. Alright, so we're probably going to get here, get in the ornithopter and everything, but this is as good a place as any to wrap it up. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here, and whoopsie! I dropped my remote. Sorry. Anyway. Ah! I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.